everybody. Hope you guys had fun talking to all these great students.
Yes.
Enjoyed your time here. And I'm Barb Goergen. I'm co-president of the Minnesota chapter of ARCS Foundation. And it's a pleasure for me to welcome you all here. This is a great honor for us to gather all these great students here. My co-president is, for several years, is Judee. Judee's over here on the side. She's waving at everybody. She handles all of our university relations and scholar relations, so we appreciate her help. And this is the awards part of the program. The other part is the networking part. So I hope you enjoyed your chance to talk to all our scholars. Before I get started, we have a number of ARCS scholars here who are getting their awards, and also ones that we call scholar-alums who are still at the university. So would all of you just stand so we can see who you are? Once an ARCS scholar, always an ARCS scholar. I'm pleased to get Jackie McCourt-Towner back to the Twin Cities, and she's a professor at Bethel University. So welcome, Jackie. We also have a special guest here today. It's ARCS National President, Caron from the Oregon chapter, and it's a pleasure to have her. It's been fun, and hope you had some of you had a chance to talk to her. She's been a member of the Oregon chapter since 2005 and served as Oregon chapter president from 2010 to 12. ARCS Foundation has a unique structure. Each chapter has its own 501c3. We're our own nonprofits. But we get to work under the umbrella of a national organization that provides many benefits to us, including an annual report. And if you'd like to get an annual report, please ask on your way out there. We have plenty for everybody. So if you are a member of ARCS, you should have gotten one in the mail, but for others, if you're interested, please ask for an annual report. Caron started her 2-year term as ARCS National President in 2021. And I've had the pleasure of working with Caron over the past year and a half. She's a hard-working and far-sighted visionary who's working hard to prepare ARCS Foundation for the future. And our mission of advancing science in America is as important as ever. And she's also a great friend of the Minnesota chapter, and we're very grateful to have her and her husband Larry, who I also hope you've met. He's a great friend of ARCS as well. So, Caron, thank you for coming. Come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Barb. Can everyone hear me okay? Okay, good, thank you. I'm really excited to be here this afternoon to meet and honor you, the Minnesota scholars. You are what ARCS is all about. Advancing science through your research. As National President of ARCS, I'm privileged to work with other like-minded women across the nation and hear from many scholars just like you. I'm continually in awe of your dedication to uncover the solutions of many of the world's most challenging problems. ARCS began in 1958 when a group of women philanthropists founded ARCS Foundation at Caltech University. When Sputnik was launched, I'm sure some of you don't even know what Sputnik is because you're so young. But when Sputnik was launched into space, it alarmed these philanthropic women, and they felt America was falling behind in science. ARCS has become a national model for women to support science education. Today, I need to change this. Today we have 15 chapters across the United States. The chapters together have awarded over $131 million. Just think of that. That's a lot of money. And ARCS has supported over 11,500 promising scientists. ARCS is a women-founded and women-led organization. The awards are unrestricted, and the awards focus entirely on STEM. The 15 chapters are under the umbrella of ARCS National, although the chapters are autonomous and reflect their own communities, and this is exactly what Barb said. National's purpose is to ensure the chapters are successful. I'm a member of the Oregon chapter, which isn't much older than your chapter. When we began 18 years ago, the president of Oregon Health and Science University and a few women associated with the university were the catalysts in forming our chapter. Today, we have 3 university partners, Oregon Health and Science University, Oregon State University, and the University of Oregon, where we support 42 approved programs and departments. We had to work really hard to convince the universities and their foundations that we were not in competition with them in raising money. It didn't take them long to figure out we were not in competition. They valued who we are and soon understood the ARCS model of awarding unrestricted dollars to students. Barb and Judee wanted me to share some highlights of the Oregon chapter. Since 2005, we have supported 360 PhD candidates and over $5.9 million. Since 2015, we began a university matched endowment program where a donor and a university are in partnership with the endowment. As of today, we have 30 university matched endowments supporting students at all 3 universities. The bottom line is ARCS is making us a sizable contribution to our universities, which continues to grow. It has taken us 18 years to get to where we are today, but it's definitely worth the hard work and dedication from our members. For my visit to Minnesota, I asked Barb and Judee to schedule my day with meetings, and believe me, they did. Yesterday was a very full day. We met with David Bernlohr, chair of, I hope I said his name right, did I? Yeah. Okay, chair of biochemistry, molecular biology, biophysics, and Brenda Ogle, professor and head of the Department of Biomedical Engineering. We learned more about their labs and asked them to assist the chapter in getting more visibility in the community. We also engaged with Dean Andrew Aline, is that right? Yeah. Good, okay. College of Science and Engineering. Lizzy Christ, an ARCS Scholar alum, who's here today, joined us when we met with Andrew to share how the ARCS Award impacted her. We also met with the interim dean for the College of Biological Sciences, David Greenstein. Both of the deans are new to the Minnesota chapter this year, or the Minnesota University this year in their positions, and they did not know much about ARCS, so we told them our story. We asked all 4 to strengthen the relationship between ARCS, the Minnesota Foundation, and the university. The door is now open, and your chapter has the opportunity to follow up with these 4 individuals to expand the work of your chapter. Thank you.
Well, thanks, Caron. It was really, as she mentioned, a whirlwind day, but we appreciate her for reaching out to us and allowing us to utilize her to meet at the university and tell the Oregon story, which is quite impressive. And so, and we appreciate her help in all of that. I'd like to tell you a little bit about the Minnesota chapter. We're one of the newest chapters. We are founded in 2008, and as I said, our own 501c3, we provide awards to University of Minnesota graduate students, and over the last, I think we started giving awards in 2010. Over the last 12 years, we've given over $290,000 to 30 graduate students at the University of Minnesota, many of whom are here today. So our Scholar Awards are currently $10,000 over a 2-year period. And as Caron said, these are unrestricted awards, and scholars get to decide how to use the funds to advance their studies and careers. 100% of the donations that we get to our Scholar Award fund here go directly to top scholars at the University of Minnesota. We have 33 or so ARCS Minnesota members, and all are volunteers. We also, because of the fact that we are a volunteer organization, have an award called the ARCS Light Award. And usually we present that at this Scholar Award event, but we haven't had one in person now for 3 years. So we are 3 years behind on our ARCS Light Awards. So 2020, 21, and 22. The ARCS Light Award is this distinctive honor that's given to a member who is given the highest quality of long-term service to ARCS Foundation. And each chapter may select an ARCS Light awardee every year. So I'd like to present these awards now. The first award is to Ingrid Blair. Ingrid, where are you? Okay, Ingrid, 2020, you probably don't remember her. A little surprised. So Ingrid is being recognized by the Minnesota chapter for your work in developing relationships with new members, sponsors, and donors. You are on the chapter board of directors. We appreciate your work, and you've led the chapter development committee. And you also helped obtain 3 two-year Scholar Award grants from 3M. We very much appreciated that as well. We're still giving an awardee for that donation. And you've introduced ARCS to many of your friends and colleagues. And in addition, she provided all the food and beverages. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Stay here a moment.
Oh.
Get out of that light. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, the 2021 award is given to Anja Bielinsky. And Anja is being recognized in absentia, and I'll tell you why in just a minute, by the Minnesota chapter for her work in developing relationships with the University of Minnesota. She's been instrumental in identifying and facilitating the addition of neuroscience as one of our newest approved departments, and has strengthened our partnerships with department heads of other departments. Anja served on the Minnesota chapter board of directors for 5 years. She's helped organize ARCS Minnesota events and held facilities in facilities provided by the university, including helping us arrange this meeting in the Cargill building. She moderated a panel of ARCS scholars at an event and was a keynote speaker at our 2018 Scholar Award event. She also headed our Scientist of the Year selection committee in 2020. Anja was a professor of the Department of Biochemistry, Molecular Biology and Biophysics, BMBB at the University of Minnesota. Her laboratory studied fundamental aspects of cancer biology. Now Anja is leaving, I think she starts this week. Is that right? Yeah. Minnesota, and she's leaving to take the role as chair of the University of Virginia School of Medicine's Department of Biochemistry and Molecular Genetics. This is a tremendous opportunity for Anja. We wish her well. It's really sad to see her leave Minnesota, but we wish her all the best in her new position, and she's been a good friend too. Our awardee for 2022 is Lola Fredrickson, who's also not able to be here tonight. Lola Fredrickson is a founding member of the Minnesota chapter. In fact, I don't think we would still have a chapter without Lola. She has been instrumental in getting members to us and helping guide our chapter along the way. She has a long history of community involvement in the Twin Cities, including 20 years with the Minneapolis Women's Club, Women's Rotary, the Society for Technical Communication, the American Society of Training and Development, among others. In 1986, Lola founded her own company focused on technical communication and training issues for corporations and nonprofits. She sold the company after building it for 30 years. Corporate clients included companies such as 3M, Medtronic, Cargill, United Healthcare, Alina, Weston, etc. She's been a board member of ARCS chapter since its beginning. She was a charter member in 2008. And as I said, her involvement and contributions have been invaluable. She's been instrumental in bringing members, donors, and compelling speakers to the chapters. She is a connector extraordinaire, and Lola is experiencing some health issues now and is not able to be with us today. So we thank you very much, Lola, and wish you the very best. Let's give her a hand. Okay, so let's leave that slide up for a second. Now we're going to move to the Scholar Award part of the ceremony. And to be recognized by your department as a top student is a high honor for an ARCS scholar. Receiving an ARCS award not only provides financial reward and recognition, but also relationships. As we develop relationships with our students and they with our community, and it's a very valuable component of the ARCS award. And the Atlanta chapter has provided us with a video that tells you a little bit of the story.
I grew up in a single mother household. My mom never went to college. It was an expectation that me and my sister were going to go to college, and also that we were going to at least get a master's. 4 years ago, my mom unexpectedly passed away, and so every single day I tried to live my life being just a sliver of the type of person that she was.
My parents immigrated here, and my parents supported me, but it was also really challenging just trying to go through school alone.
I grew up in a really small town in southern Illinois, very farming-focused community, and so because of that, I don't have a huge support system that knows a lot about my PhD.
The first 2 years at Georgia Tech were honestly very tough. Grad school can be very lonely.
One of the problems the United States faces is we don't have enough students going into science. We have students from all over the world. We get tremendous talent, but we also need to have more students from the United States pursuing advanced research.
As we all know, STEM is everywhere. Like everything that we do in our lives is being touched in some form or fashion by STEM. And so I find it very important in the future that we're educating more people in these spaces so that they're not just being consumers of technology, but producers as well.
Without funding support, you risk losing these scientists to non-scientific endeavors. Without the funding, these students might be looking elsewhere for their future.
In 1958, a group of women volunteers created a unique partnership between science and society. This was the beginning of ARCS Foundation, which became a model for women's philanthropy for science education. The Atlanta chapter has provided over $6.5 million for over 1,000 individual scholar awards.
My second year here, I was selected to be an ARCS scholar, and I was so ecstatic.
Getting the ARCS scholarship, I think, was a pretty pivotal point in my career. I think it really made me realize that there were people there to support me in science.
Financial security is one of those things that gives me peace of mind, not just in order to kind of progress my research, but just to live as a human and progress as a person.
BlackRock Atlanta's partnership with the ARCS Foundation started in early 2020, where we sponsored 6 ARCS scholars. For us, it's about recruiting the best and brightest talent, and innovation is one of the key ways that we can continue to meet our clients' needs.
The ARCS Award does more than give our scholars the money to pursue their research. It also gives them the knowledge that there is an unbiased community that believes they and their research will change the world.
Well, so you can see that the ARCS chapters help each other across the country. We have many of the same students, and they have many of the same issues and concerns, and so we can bring a community here in Minnesota, but we can also be a community across the country. And so it's a very powerful, we currently have over 600 current scholars across the country, and over, as Caron said, 11,500 ever. So it's quite a large number. So, this again, okay, so for this year, for our Scholar Awards, we have, are giving Scholar, where they have been selected by their departments. They're academically outstanding, high potential graduate students in STEM fields. And they have, hopefully you learned, innovative research projects that you learned about some of the work that they're doing. And they're also known for their contributions outside the laboratory. Right now we have 7 approved departments. The departments need to get approved by national. It's a rather rigorous examination of the departments. They're ranked in the top 10% nationwide. We have biomedical engineering, biochemistry, molecular biology, biophysics, civil and environmental and geoengineering, computer science, mechanical engineering, neuroscience, which was new in 2020, and now our newest department, immunology, which was new this year. Now we'll move to the award part of our event. Judee, Sharon, can you step up, please?
Do you want me to come over there?
Are you prepared to say any words?
Sure, yes.
And we're going to first give you this.
Thank you.
Congratulations on your
Thank
award. Okay, and then you can step up to the podium and just.
Okay, sure, yeah.
I put your little bio right there if you want to.
Yes, so I already met many of you, but in case you don't know me, I'm Judee. I am in the biochemistry department technically, but everything I work on is more synthetic biology or specifically biocomputing. And what that is really just the interface between biology, computer science, and electrical engineering. This is all just thinking about several decades from now when we will have hardware that is using biology as a material. Yeah, and I am in the Dr. Kate Adamala's lab in the biochemistry department, and I love it so far. Thank you.
Thank you, Judee. Okay, Mariah. Mariah is a student in the Civil Environmental Engineering Department, and this is your second year of your award. Congratulations. And you can say a few words for us, please. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so I'm a second year ARCS scholar this year. I'm a 4th year PhD student in the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Geo-Engineering. So I work in the Barron's lab, and my research focuses on using biochar to help stimulate the degradation of contaminants in our wastewater systems. So biochar is similar to activated carbon and charcoal, except that it's part of this kind of circular economy where we can use biowaste to produce the biochar. And biochar has, among many other complex properties, it also has electrochemical properties like conductivity and electron exchange capacity that can stimulate chemical transformations of contaminants as well as stimulating biodegradation of contaminants. So my research in the Barron's lab is focusing on seeing if we can use biochar to add it to wastewater treatment systems and target the degradation of some of these contaminants, especially chlorinated contaminants that would otherwise not be degraded in our wastewater systems. And yeah, hopefully we can prevent those from getting out into the environment. And yeah, I can't thank the ARCS Foundation enough for their support, especially in the last year with the pandemic. Having the extra financial support during such a hard year is just incredible. And on top of that, we had this kind of extra community support and it's just a big morale booster. And being in a PhD program is really hard, so I really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mariah.
It's definitely helped me go to the conference this last year and have additional resources for my research. So thank you.
Okay, the next scholar is Orla Gotthelf. Orla is in the mechanical engineering department and is determining if there's gender bias in competency-based surgical skill evaluation. Congratulations.
Thank you. So I'm Orla. I'm a fifth-year PhD student in mechanical engineering here. I complete research in two different labs, the Human Machine Design Lab under Dr. William Durfee and the Medical Robotics and Device Lab under Dr. Timothy Kowalski. My thesis work focuses on determining if there's gender bias in competency-based surgical skill evaluation using both crowdsourced and expert raters. I'm involved in the college's diversity efforts by serving as the co-lead of the college's Science, Engineering's Diversity and Inclusivity Alliance. And in the long term, I hope to use this background to research competency-based skill evaluation in graduate and professional schools with an intention to stay in academia. I tend to use this research and my identity as a trans queer engineer to promote fair practices, encouraging LGBTQ+ students to pursue STEM degrees. I also have a background in controls engineering, having worked on handheld robotics, soft robotics, rehabilitation device, and measuring grip force. I want to thank the ARCS Society and all the donors for this opportunity and scholarship, and I'd also like to thank my wife Linda for her support.
Okay, now the next awardee is Daniel Mendez. Let's see. Daniel was not able to be with us today. He's at a neuroscience conference, and he did provide us with a nice video, so I'm going to play this video for you. If I can. Here we go.
Hello, my name is Daniel Mendez, and I am sorry that I couldn't make it to the award ceremony for the ARCS Scholar Award. I'm actually in San Diego for a neuroscience conference that was planned beforehand, and so we thought that it would just be at least proper to just do a video intro of myself so that other members and donors can get to know a little bit more about me. And so just a little bit about myself. I'm a Southern California native, and my research career began as an undergraduate student at the California State University of Fullerton, where I earned my bachelor's degrees in the biological sciences in 2012. And during this time, I was selected to participate in the Howard Hughes Medical Institute, or HHMI, undergraduate research scholarship program, which provided me 2 years of hands-on research experience. I was then nominated and selected to participate in the HHMI Exceptional Research Opportunities Program for the summer 2011. Where I had the privilege to work under a leading HHMI investigator at the University of Washington, Seattle. And so the combined experience gave me knowledge and skills in neuroscience, stem cell biology, molecular biology, and protein analysis technologies. And so with the intention to take time for traveling and explore meaning and purpose in my life, after a spiritual experience I had, I actually decided to take a couple of years off after my undergraduate studies. And I worked as a laboratory technician in multiple positions during that time across diverse disciplines, which included neuroscience, regenerative medicine, diabetes, and cancer immunotherapy. And during this time, I met my now wife of nearly 7 years, which delayed things a little bit. But she helped me navigate through many mental issues I was unaware of in myself. And then after our first child was born, I pursued a master's in the Master of Biological Sciences program here at the University of Minnesota, while simultaneously working full-time as a lab technician to support our family and welcoming our second child halfway through the program. I'm currently a PhD candidate at the graduate program in neuroscience at the University of Minnesota in the lab of Dr. Thomas Bastian. Iron deficiency is what we're particularly interested in, and we are interested in it because it's the most common micronutrient deficiency in the world. And my project focuses on the effect of early life iron deficiency during the neonatal period and the long-term ramifications over the life of brain development using cellular and rodent models. When acquired in early life, It is a risk factor for long-term neurodevelopment and neuropsychiatric conditions, including ADHD and schizophrenia. And these persistent neurological disruptions occur despite prompt iron treatment, which is why we're particularly interested in it. And so the newborn human brain undergoes a lot of rapid development from the end of the third trimester to the first years after life. So it requires a lot of energy and nutritional support during that time. And the region of the brain that's associated with learning and memory function, which is the hippocampus, is actually very iron dependent and particularly vulnerable during that period. Iron deficiency has been shown in published data from my advisor to reduce the structural complexity of these hippocampal brain cells called neurons and impairing the ability of the hippocampus to learn and memorize new information. And so the mitochondria end up the powerhouse of the cell, produces most of the cell's energy and requires iron for proper functioning. So energy production is decreased in the iron deficient condition, modeled in neural cell cultures derived from the hippocampus. And so to properly respond to a cell's energy demands, mitochondria also undergo dynamic movements and structural changes, which are collectively called mitochondrial quality control, which is where my thesis is mainly focusing on. And so our objective is to test the mechanistic hypothesis that mitochondria-targeted therapies that improve mitochondrial quality control can reverse the impairments we have observed in the iron-deficient neurons. And this work can provide avenues for alternative treatment for iron deficiency and can have implications for biological mechanisms and therapeutic approaches of neurobehavioral neurocognitive diseases associated with mitochondrial dysfunction. And sorry, you might be hearing my son in the background. We're trying to get him to bed. My family and I, just in general, are deeply grateful for the ARCS Foundation Award. So I really thank all the ARCS members and the ARCS donors and anyone who was involved with selecting me for this award. This will just be used to help offset costs of insurance premiums and co-pays for my wife and children, allowing me to focus on my research more fully. And really, as an older student who is married and has two little kids, my oldest is 5 and my youngest is 3, it really greatly reduces the stress of worrying about making ends meet to support my family while finishing grad school with the hopes of a good return of investment in availing career prospects down the road. My current long-term plan is to pursue a career leading a lab as an independent investigator devoted to advancing research and optimizing brain development in early childhood to support long-term overall quality of life for pediatric patients. And so, so the added benefit of your support is that I really do enjoy the research that I do, and I plan to continue forward with it as a long-term career. And so with that, I can't thank you enough. And yeah, I hope to meet you all in person sometime. Thank you.
So Daniel is filming this. Obviously, he's in his hotel room with his children. He's from San Diego, so he's really thrilled to be able to be home with his family. And it was really nice of him to do this video for us. We were getting it late last night, early this morning, so it worked out well. And so we really appreciate the fact that he did this, and we look forward to having him together with you, hopefully next year, if not before. Okay, our next award winner is Fathima Mohamed. Come on up here. Fathima is in the new department, new to us, Department of Immunology. It's been around for quite a while, and we're really pleased to have this department. It was highly rated by our University Relations and Evaluation Committee, and so you're the first scholar in this department. So congratulations.
Hello. So my name is Fathima Mohamed, and I'm a 4th-year graduate student in the Microbiology, Immunology, Cancer Biology graduate program. And I'm really excited by the prospect of partnering with ARCS as a new department, and really excited to kind of continue speaking more about ARCS with fellow graduate students to kind of expand recognition in the department. So I am from the Twin Cities, got my Bachelor's of Science in Biology and Bachelor's of Arts in English from Hamilton University in St. Paul, and I'm currently in the lab of Dr. Bruce Blazer studying complications to bone marrow transplantation. So I study a disease called chronic graft-versus-host disease, And this disease is really centered on the interaction between a couple of key immune cells, T follicular helper cells and germinal center B cells. And so we're trying to understand exactly how these cells are mediating the complications of this disease. And one avenue in which we're trying to better understand these cells is by understanding their reliance on nutrients in the environment and their metabolism. And the goal is to be able to develop selective therapies that can inhibit the function of these pathogenic cells while maintaining general immune homeostasis and to prevent the kind of consequences of broad immunosuppression that happens with steroid treatment, which is the current therapy for patients who have this disease. And so I would like to thank the ARCS Foundation, the Minnesota chapter, and the members and donors for this opportunity. Thank you very much.
All right, and our next awardee is Paige Nielsen. She's a Richard Pyle Memorial Scholar, and Richard Pyle is Judee Benham's late husband. So Paige, and Paige is in, let's get the picture up, the Biomedical Engineering Department, doing soft tissue biomechanics, and I'm sure she can explain it a lot better than I can. Sure.
Hello everyone, I'm very happy to be here. I am Paige Nielsen. I actually am a first year PhD student in the Department of Biomedical Engineering here at the U. Earlier this year, I graduated with my Bachelor's of Science in Biomedical Engineering from Florida State University, so a long way away from here. And I I have just completed my lab rotations. So I am trying to figure out where my interests lie, and I have found that I am broadly interested in soft tissue biomechanics and how the mechanical properties of organs and cells affect their functions and relate to their to various pathologies in the context of medicine. So soft tissues, they are very complicated mechanically, so they can't be modeled using traditional rigid computational models. So they are, as a result, understudied. And I am interested specifically in looking at the interplay between hormonal signaling and mechanical signaling in soft organs and tissue in the female reproductive system. In my free time, I really love to read and write across all genres. I am very passionate about LGBTQ representation, not only in STEM, but also in research as a research population. Yeah, what else? I play guitar. I like to swim. And I would like to thank all the ARCS donors and the ARCS Foundation, and I would like to thank my lovely family back in Florida for supporting me on my journey, and I would also like to thank my girlfriend.
And now we have Seraphina Yong. Seraphina, come on up here. Seraphina is in computer science. Oh, I have a copy and paste issue, I'm sorry. She's not doing soft tissue biomechanics. So anyway, Seraphina, congratulations on your award, and you can tell us what you do. We're going to like here.
Hi everyone, I'm Seraphina. I'm a second year PhD student in computer science at the university, and I am co-advised by Dr. Lana Yarosh, who works in the field of human-computer interaction, and Dr. Evan Suma Rosenberg, who works in the field of virtual reality research. Before joining the PhD program here, I have a bachelor's degree in computer science from the University of Chicago. I have a master's degree also in computer science, and I previously worked at the IOX Center Research Institute at National Taiwan University doing research on the use of emerging technology for social applications such as collaborative health management solutions for depressed older adults, cross-device sharing in virtual reality, and making laser cut technology accessible for the blind and visually impaired. My current research at the University of Minnesota focuses on studying individuals in close relationships and how taking the perspective of a close other, such as one's romantic partner, through virtual reality technology can fundamentally affect social perceptions and how partners communicate with each other during conflict discussions, which are inevitable discussions on topics of disagreement that can often be emotionally charged and hard to manage. This work is partially inspired by the large body of prior work in the virtual reality research area on the effects of virtual reality perspective taking to increase empathy for demographics such as specific ethnicities or vulnerable populations. And I am really expanding this area of research to the context of real individual humans and their immediate relationships. The expected contribution of this work is new knowledge of how perspective taking in virtual reality can assist with reflection and social learning around real relationships. So this can be applied in cases ranging from relationship maintenance to mitigation of power imbalances in the workplace. The overall trajectory of my work aims to inform how particular modalities of technology such as immersive, mobile, ambient technologies, or different levels of media richness can be structured or redesigned to support positive social interactions and promote social skill building. I intend to pursue a career in academia and hope to further knowledge on how technology can promote positive social practices by both making more research contributions and mentoring young scholars who are interested in this area of work. I really appreciate the support that the ARCS program is providing to help further my research goals and really that highly needed financial support, and I will really do my best to make the best of this award. Thank you.
So the last 4 scholars that you heard from are getting the first year, and then the 3 before that were in the second year of their awards. And at this point, I would actually like to have Lizzy Crist come up. Now, Colette wasn't able to be with us today, and I've asked Lizzy and Colette are sort of in our senior class. Senior-ish. So to give you a perspective of what it's like to be past your ARCS award and still at the university, and how it's affected your career. So would you like to stand up here?
Yes,
Thank you.
Thanks, Barb.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's wonderful to meet everyone here. I've met a lot of you already, but I'm Lizzy. I'm in my now 6th year of my PhD in biomedical engineering, so we'll be graduating within the next year. And I received my awards back in 2017 and 2018, a little bit ago. But since then, since I've been on the University of Minnesota campus, I've gotten to be a scholar alum, which meant I got to stay connected with this wonderful community. And I think the 2 things that ARCS has really given me, beyond just the money, which was hugely helpful in my first 2 years affording campus housing, but it has been both community and then opportunity. And while being on campus, all the alums and scholar awardees here today, you have the opportunity to get involved with not only each other and learn from each other's research across all the different departments, but the members in Minnesota have been really wonderful to connect with. That has led to a lot of opportunities for myself. Actually, at this event in 2019, I met with someone during the poster session. I didn't know who they were. It turns out that they were the VP of R&D at Boston Scientific, and that was great to meet them in a very informal way, and I got to share my research, and that actually led to an internship there in 2020. And so that's just one example of how meeting with people who are involved with ARCS, attending the events, can open up different avenues for yourself. Now that I'm sort of in the job market looking for different things for postgrad, I have ARCS Scholar in my email signature, and that has actually been helpful in connecting with other people across the country who know about ARCS. Maybe they were an ARCS Scholar themselves, or they're just aware of the organization and kind of what prestige it carries with it, and that has been great for looking for jobs. So there's a lot of opportunity, and there's a great community here, so I've been very fortunate to be a part of it, and eventually I'll join as a member in the future. So maybe I'll be the person recruiting you in the future. But no, thank you so much. I appreciate all this.
Thank you, Lizzy. And you had the opportunity to meet other of our scholar alums who are past their award period, but still at the university, still actively doing the research and still actively part of our community, so we thank you all. So it's ARCS Foundation's belief that supportive STEM education is essential to U.S. economic growth and technological competitiveness, and it helps to ensure continued U.S. leadership in global innovation, health, and quality of life. ARCS scholars have gone on to positions of leadership and distinction in academia, industry, and government. 9 out of 10 ARCS scholars work in their sponsored field with sharing their knowledge and developing technologies, launching startup companies, inspiring youth to pursue the challenges in study and careers in STEM fields. These students will provide an answer to some of our country's biggest problems and represent our country's future. As I said, 100% of scholar donations go to the Minnesota Scholar Award Fund. And your support is needed now more than ever. But there are many different ways that you could supply your support. We can give you more information about ARCS Foundation in general, and also ARCS Foundation Minnesota chapter. And if you don't have an annual report, please stop by the where you got your name tag. Please leave your name tags behind and pick up an annual report. If you're a woman and want to consider joining as a member, please let me know, and I'll reach back out to you. And then can be a friend of ARCS, and we have lots of male friends of ARCS that you probably met today. So you can donate to the ARCS Foundation Minnesota chapter, attend events like this that we have throughout the year, and spread the word about ARCS to your friends and family around the state of Minnesota. So before you leave, I want to thank you for coming today. I also want to thank the 3M foundation called 3M Gives for doing one of the Scholar Awards today. Please leave your name tags at the desk. And I'd like to ask all ARCS scholars, everybody, to meet up front, and we'll do some pictures then. So if you want more information, please let me know. So thank you very much.